Hello, fanatics! Welcome to the show that gets you ready for the week of football that lies ahead while unpacking reviews, news, and stories and results. This is All Things Football. Hello and welcome to it. This is the penultimate episode for the year 2024. My name is Apiwe Roto. Remember to like the Face All Things Football page on Facebook and follow on Instagram. The All Things Football at All Things Football 14 underscore, and of course the Yamava network. If you wish to see more episodes, the shows are available on YouTube on the Yamava network. That's the AMAVAROTO network YouTube channel. Plenty to talk about. We start with a much anticipated blockbuster preview. Liverpool take on Manchester City, who are kind of winless in 6 games in all competitions, having lost having drawn the last Champions League game against Feyenoord midweek, losing losing 2 games and losing the previous 3 in the Premier League. Matches played between these two teams. These two teams met 5 times in the last encounter. Last 5 meetings have seen both teams achieve 2 victories each, with one game ending in a draw, while there's a goal difference of 3, with Liverpool having netted 6, while Manchester City have all scored 9. Last win for Liverpool was a 1-0 win in a Premier League, while Manchester City have won more games, winning by 3-2 and 4 goals to 1 in the Carabao Cup, and of course the 4-1 in the Premier League. Now, when we talk of all cup competitions, we in the Premier League, we talk about the Premier League, the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, the Community Shield, and of course the UEFA Champions League. The overall head-to-head between the two teams, they met 196 times, Liverpool claiming 93 wins compared to Manchester City's 50, or 53 have ended in a draw. Biggest wins are Manchester City, Liverpool winning by 6 goals to 0 on the 28th of October in 1995, which was 29 years ago. Well, for Manchester City, you have to go back all the way to the 11th of September in 1935. I'll bring you those, remember those, I'll look out for the stats on the All Things Football page. On to news making headlines in the world of football in the last week. Remember, this is the last show, penultimate episode before the year 20 and of the year 2024. On to your news. Start making headlines. The PSL has appointed a new disciplinary committee to go into the PSL DRC, that meaning the dispute resolution chamber. This panel The panel, of course, will include 17 panelists and 4 co-chairpersons. This is now the idea of the disciplinary committee is to avoid instant dragging matters and taking them to FIFA. Now, like as with the case with former forward, Royal AM forward Samuel Nokovic and Royal AM, which has been with the Court Arbitration of Sport, CAS for short, and FIFA since the year 2022. And now the league has brought on board 17 panelists and 4 co-chairpersons to serve on a long term. Each disciplinary hearing will be led by 1 chairperson along 2 panelists. Other appointed co-chairpersons include under Advocate Sisi Baloyi, they will be Advocate Tabile Ngubeni, Advocate Jeanette Nkaiseng, and of course Mr. Raymond Heck. While the panelists are as follows and will be under us, and Mr. Ntika Mage will include Mr. Joe Mukwana, Mr. Matthew Booth, Ms. Palisa Maseko, Ms. Verishka September, Ms. Vasitsana Mlebati, Ms. Menike Kroenberg, Ms. Kroenberg, Ms. Diane Peters, Mr. Solomon Chiseva, Mr. Godfrey Monchochai, and Mr. William Sijega, Mr. Pasno Nyashowe, Mr. Shane Wafer, Mr. Kwabas Brendan Camp forms part of the panel alongside with Mr. Jack Kearns and of course Mr. Abokwe Daunyana. Now, the PSL Disciplinary Committee is an independent body trusted with ensuring fair and impartial adjudication of all matters and discussing with this matters within the league, and as read the statement On to our other story. Ali transfer advisor has called for the Red Devils to look into Bafana forward Percy Tau's deep in form. Now the 30-year-old Bafana at former the 30-year-old Bafana attacker has made just 3 substitute appearances from the bench, with his contract set to expire in the next in at the come end of the season. Mr. The transfer advisor in Adli Alki has advised the 30-year-old attacker to move to Zamalek to improve to which could be a lot to help get his career back on track. As he believes that the player is phenomenal and still has still and can still serve the game, and still has a lot to offer the game. Now, if you remember clearly, Percy Tau has been absent in Bafana circles for some time. Also, on to other news. Furthermore, on to other news, while we struggle to get that, let's move on to the next one. Richards Bay, Royal AM chairman Sean Mkize has been or had a house raided rather by the South African Revenue Services officials on Tuesday afternoon, with the chairman said to be owing close to 40 million rand. Now, the South African Revenue Services confirmed that they were granted an order by the Durban High Court along with the seizure and search warrant in the case of the chairman. Now, the businesswoman and the club also find themselves in trouble with FIFA for outstanding money owed to former striker Samir Narkovic, uh, and or amounting to 15 million rand with interest. The club have until next week to settle the matter or will have to face dire consequences. While on our other story, Bafana have moved up as far as the World FIFA World's governing body, which has been released by which has been recently released by which was recently released by the football's world governing body, with Cameroon also moving up alongside Morocco, who remain top of the table following their impressive form and in the last World Cup 2022, which took place in Qatar, which saw them finish fourth, the first ever African team finish fourth on the Premier League. While Richards Bay, on the other news, have sacked a manager and have parted ways with coach Brendan Truter following their Natal Rich Boys' loss to Kaiser Chiefs. Prior to that, but Richards, the Natal Rich Boys lost to Kaiser Chiefs prior to the KZN derby against Amazulu, which takes place today. The 42-year-old tactician took over the club just before the season kicked off, following the departure of Vusumuzi Vilakazi, who is now serving at Amazulu alongside coach Arthur Zwane. However, he departs just after 11 matches, where he won just 2 matches. While Leicester City, on the other side, have appointed former interim coach and Ruud van Nistelrooy, following his successful stint with Old Trafford, where he took over and on Manchester United on an interim basis, following the sacking of Eric Ten Hag after a string of poor results. The Dutchman takes over as struggling Foxes, currently sitting 16th on the Premier League table, and has signed a contract which will see him at the Foxes till 2027, and will be watching the game against Brentford as a spectator before taking over in the game against West Ham United, which will take place on Tuesday. Unfortunately, I cannot fill up all the stories due to unforeseen circumstances, as the gadget seems to be failing. Let's have a look let's have a look at your results. We saw a new curling knockout champions crowned on the midweek. with Magesi coming from a goal down to beat Mamelodi Sundowns by 2-1, making them the first newly promoted side to win a domestic tournament and top flight and on their debut season. Premier League results: we saw matches Leicester City fall short by 2 goals to 1 against Chelsea, while Manchester Fulham was on the receiving end of a 4-1 drubbing by Wolves. Everton and Brentford could not be separated, playing to a goalless draw. Arsenal were too strong for Nottingham Forest, beating them by 3 goals to 0. Bournemouth falling short to Brighton by 2 goals to 1, while Villa and Crystal Palace could not be separated, playing to a 2-all draw. City were on the receiving end of a 4-0 dropping from Tottenham Hotspur, while Sunday we saw Liverpool winning by 3 goals to 2 in an entertaining encounter against Southampton. Ipswich Town and Manchester United could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw after an equalizer from Amim Townsend was enough to cancel Marcus Rashford's lead, opening lead. On the 26th of November, we saw Battery Premiership midweek fixtures take place with Sekhukhune United falling short to TS Galaxy by 3 goals to 1. Chippa United and Supersport United could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 goalless draw, beg your pardon. Royal AM and Golden Arrows, game that kicked off late. Golden Arrows came back from a goal down to win by 3 goals to 2. Champions League fixtures saw Slovan Bratislava losing to AC Milan by 3 goals to 2, while Atletico Madrid were too strong for Sparta Praha, beating them by 6 goals to 0. Feyenoord coming back from 3 goals down to may force a 3-all draw, stretching Manchester City's winless run to 6. And FC Barcelona beating Stade Brestois by 3 goals to 0. Bayern Munich winning by that odd goal from Jamal Musiala against Paris Saint-Germain at the München Arena. And Inter Milan also won by an odd goal against RB Leipzig, while Atalanta proved too strong for young boys, beating them by 6 goals to 1. Bayer Leverkusen proved too strong for Salzburg, beating them by 6 goals to 0. Arsenal winning by 5 goals to 1 against Sporting Lisbon just after the departure of their coach Ruben Amorim. Tuesday we saw Betway Premiership fixtures. Kaizer Chiefs beating Richards Bay by 2 goals to 1, with goals from Wandile Duba and of course Ashley Dupre, who came off the bench with 1 goal pulled back by Mbutuma from Richards Bay, a game which Kaizer Chiefs finished with 10 men following Reeve Frosler sending off after a second bookable offence, while Tamsang Ramkiza's goal separated Cape Town City from Polokwane City with an odd goal. Wednesday we saw Champions League fixtures. Serena Zvezda too strong for FB Stuttgart beating them by 5 goals to 1. An odd goal was enough to see Sturm Graz through against Girona, while Aston Villa and Juventus are the only side game not to give us goals, ending in a goalless draw. AS Monaco falling short to Benfica by 3 goals to 2 in Monaco. PSV Eindhoven beating Shakhtar by 3 goals to 2. Liverpool, Alexis McAllister and substitute Cody Gakpo sank Real Madrid by 2 goals to 0. Celtic and Club Brugge could not be separated, playing to a 1-0 draw, while Bologna fell short to Lille by 2 goals to 1. Dinamo Zagreb beaten by Borussia Dortmund by 3 goals to 0. The weekend football kicked off with Edgar Managa spot kick sinking Supersport United by an odd goal in the first half, while in the English Premier League we saw Brighton playing to a 1-0 draw against Southampton. Onto your match preview, we take a look at the Reds. The Reds have been exceptional, beaten just once in all competitions, sitting on top of the table, 8 points ahead of Man City, who are currently winners and the last 6 matches, making also becoming the first team to qualify for the round of 16 in the Champions League phase, the first ever Champions League phase. Tell me, what do you think? I think the Champions League phase is a good idea. This is between me and you. It was a good idea because there's no place to hide. The vulnerability is gonna be shown. Whichever team proves to be vulnerable will be exposed, in somewhere in one way or the other. You don't have to rely on second legs to return legs to recover. You have to stand up and be counted from the word go. So yes, the league format, which was criticized by many, at the end of the day, I mean, this is just my opinion, it was a great idea as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned. The Reds have been exceptional. Players to watch include Mohamed Salah, who's had 10 goal contributions as far as these two teams when the team has come to help his team either equalize or put his team in the lead. With 6 goals, 4 assists, making it 10. The Egyptian has contributed 10 goals in the league through goals and assists, which helped his side either help them equalize or make them even or put them ahead, as seen in the game against Southampton, where Southampton were leading by 2 goals to 0. He has scored the equalizer to make it 2-2 before sinking in the penalty to give them the 3-2 lead. However, he will be relying on his centre back and Virgil van Dijk to silence the lanky striker and Erling Haaland, who's been a point of reference for Manchester City. Another player to look out for who might possibly start tomorrow is Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's said to have passed his late fitness test after missing the last 2 games through injury. At the game, Manchester City, the citizens have not been at their best. Currently winless in their last 6 matches in all competition. Now the English champions had a Champions League game to forget in the week, which saw them lose a 3-goal lead to Feyenoord to get a 3-all draw at the Etihad. Now, a key player will be Erling Haaland, who has had 9 goal contributions, which have all been goals. Has not contributed any assists, however. It's just been goals. Despite Ted trailing in goal involvements, he still leads the goal chart by 12 goals compared to his rivals' 10 goals. The Norwegian remains a leading goal scorer, 12 goals, 2 ahead of Mohamed Salah's lead, and the Citizens lead trail. The Reds, however, lead the Citizens by 8 points on the log. Additionally, the English champions will be looking to turn their fortunes around. However, it's going to be tricky when it comes to Anfield, where teams have had the going tough with with Anfield turning into a fortress and uni- Liverpool yet to taste defeat as far as their home ground is concerned. Another player to look out for is Virgil van Dijk, the tall, lanky centre back. The lanky centre back who will most likely be tasked with keeping the centre back forward. While in Manchester City, another player to look out for, as much as they are hit by injuries, will be Kevin De Bruyne. He's hoping his chemistry with Erling Haaland, which proved fruitful last season. Now we saw Pep Guardiola being experimental last season, a 4-2-3-1, a 4-1-4-1 formation. However, with Rodri out injured, it remains to be seen which formation he's gonna play. He's recently applied a 4-3-3 formation, an all-out attack, a typical formation which you'd expect from a Pep Guardiola. Here's how today's fixtures started from today. Battery Premiership fixtures are just in an hour. In less than 40 minutes, we will see a KZN derby as far as the Premier League is concerned, the Battery Premiership is concerned, with Richards Bay taking on Amazulu, while Kaiser Chiefs will welcome Royal AM. Mamelodi Sundowns welcomes Kukune United, and Chippa United will take on Makesi at the Buffalo City Stadium in the last game for the Saturday. Tomorrow we'll see Stellenbosch welcome Orlando Pirates in what many call a grudge match for Stellenbosch, who will be looking to respond to that loss of the MTN 8 final. Golden Arrows welcome Cape Town City, while Polokwane City will take on TS Galaxy. Premier League fixtures, we'll see West Ham welcome Bournemouth, while Newcastle travel to Crystal Palace. Ipswich Town travel to Nottingham Forest, while Brentford will take on Leicester City, which new coach Ruud van Nistelrooy will be watching from the stands. West Ham will take on Arsenal in the London Derby, which will kick off later in the day at 6:30. Tomorrow we'll see a triple header with Tottenham Hotspur taking on Fulham, or Manchester United will welcome Everton and Ruben Amorim's first league game at Old Trafford, while Liverpool will take on a struggling Manchester City. Tuesday, we see Ipswich Town take on Crystal Palace in the midweek fixtures in what will be a very busy December for the Premier League. Leicester City take on West Ham United. Southampton on Wednesday will welcome Chelsea, while Nottingham Forest will travel to Manchester City. Newcastle will welcome Liverpool, while the Wolves will take on Everton. Uh, Arsenal will take on Manchester United on Wednesday, while Aston Villa will welcome Brentford. Fulham will see Fulham will Thursday will see Brighton take on Fulham, while Bournemouth will welcome Tottenham Hotspur. You go for those fixtures is at 10:15 Central African time, and that's all we have time for as far as all things football is concerned. The show, I would like to apologize for the hiccups that made it difficult to get all the stories as far as all things football is concerned. The stories come from this gadget here. However, we had trouble putting the stories out in full. Uh, Despite giving out the stories and being able to and not being able to show you the to give you the top 10 rankings as far as FIFA's concerned, top 10 African teams in the latest FIFA rankings. That's all we have time for on the penultimate episode of All Things Football. Remember to like, comment, and of course, hit the like button, comment at the bottom of your screen on the Amava Hoto network, and of course subscribe if you take a liking for future episodes. Remember to ring the bell for notifications of new episodes, and of course like the page where the show will be on. Like the page, All Things Football, and take it like the follow us on Instagram, the All Things Football at All Things Football underscore 14 underscore. Until then, enjoy the show, enjoy the football. Thank you in advance for watching. I appreciate the support. And as today's show is dedicated to legendary Mr. Lucas Masterpieces Moripe, who was supposed to pay tribute to last week. However, that could not happen. For that, would like all things football would like to apologize. Condolences go to the Mr. Moripe's family and friends and the football fraternity at large. To the Moripe family, it's not just a loss for you; it's a loss for the football fraternity as a whole. As much as I never got the privilege to watch him in action because I wasn't born during his time. We know he's got a stadium named after him in Pretoria at Attridgefield, the Lucas Masterpieces Moripe Stadium. Met the man who made a name for Pretoria Callis in his heyday. That's all we have time for. My name is Apiwe Roto. This has been All Things Football. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.